Before we get into today's episode on Life of a Female Tradie podcast, I'm dropping a quick nudge for you to hit that follow, like, subscribe button wherever you are listening. It all helps build the show more than you could ever know. Now that's done, let's get to the guest. Enjoy.
So my name's Ria. I'm the owner of Female Touch, and I've been a decorator for 23 years.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing your time with me today, Ria. It's great to have you on the podcast. As I've said, I've been wanting to get you on for a while. So, let's dig into your story. Where did it all start for you?
So I've had many a job I've been a zookeeper, I've been a swimming teacher, I've worked in offices, I've done baggage at the airport, you name it, I've sort of done it across the board. And I didn't like sort of the repetitiveness or going to the same place or having a boss. And my dad's a decorator and his dad was a decorator. And I always helped my dad when I was little. And then he sort of said, "Oh, look, just come and work with me until you find something else." And here we are 23 years later.
Blimey, 23 years. That's a good stint. You're not bored of it yet?
No, I love it. I actually love it. I never get bored because, like, one week you'd be walking into just a quick refresh or a new build. And then the next week it's something that can be not really daunting, but you know there's going to be a hell of a lot of work involved and it's going to throw up all sorts of issues and stuff. So I never get bored of it.
That's good to know. How do you kind of tackle that? When you start a job and say from looking at it, there's not really any particular issues, maybe the odd hairline crack, but once you start getting into it and the paint starts peeling off and you dig deeper into cracks, how do you manage that time wise?
Do you know what? That is like the power of the terms and conditions for a start. So all of my quotes are actually an estimate with, obviously, as you said, we haven't got X-ray eyes, but I will sort of put down that any unforeseens will be fully discussed with you, the client, and a set plan and costing or whatever agreed before I continue. And then that also gets put on as an email. Luckily, it doesn't happen that often. And to be fair, like, unless it's really going to run into a lot of time, I will try and swallow it in if I can. But if it ends up being days and days or a lot of different materials or having to bring in a plasterer, then that obviously has to go. But that is why it's an estimate. And I always tell people it's an estimate and it's only once a year that something goes wrong, really.
I think it can be it's a topic discussed, I feel, a lot in the decorating world, the difference between a quote and an estimate. Kind of, you just explained it quite clearly there. The estimate gives you that freedom the time to allow for unforeseens, doesn't it? I mean, it kind of explains to the client that this may kind of
Hmm.
balloon
Yeah.
potentially.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I've been stung, and again, everything I've been stung with over the years, and I've made every mistake, and it's important to make all the mistakes, and eventually you can hone it down. And I think the more transparent you are with a client, the more trust is built as well. There's some jobs that I walk in and I'm like, this is going to have to go on a day rate until we get to a standard where it's then just chucking a bit of paint at the wall because you can't tell. There's a job that me and Sam have been looking after in Hampton for about a year now, and it is just an absolute mix mash of new lime plaster, old lime plaster, crumbling walls. So I just spoke to him and I was like, look, we're just going to have to go on a day rate, and then you're going to have to sort of stop me when your budget comes to that point. And we've just been working through it. And now we're at a point where it is literally just bits of painting that it can be priced for. So,
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a really good way to approach it. I think, yeah, because one of the big worries is that a job rolls into another and then you have to keep pushing clients, don't you? And I think
yeah.
that can be quite a big worry because decorators can be booked up months in advance and you don't really like to push clients too much, do you? Because you obviously don't want to mess with their timetable as well as yours.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a struggle of mine. I'm booked up. What are we now? We're end of November. I'm booked up till next August, and
Wow.
I'm turning away so much work. But then again, I've got the likes of Sam who I can pull in, and another guy who I work with now and then. But yeah, if something goes wrong, it's like that's when I end up working weekends. And for me, the problem is if I finish a job on a Wednesday, I will book something in for the Thursday and Friday because I'll be twiddling my thumbs otherwise. I'd keep doing it, and again, it doesn't usually happen, but now and then you'll run over a little bit. And a lot of my clients are quite good. They don't, unless they've sort of booked me in because they're going on a holiday or something like that. But then that falls into working late hours and stuff to try and make sure the previous job is done. So, but I'm guilty of it, and I know I am. I don't think I'm ever going to change that. I like a little bit of pressure as well.
It's difficult to be strict with yourself when a job can throw up unforeseen circumstances, isn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, it can definitely eat into your personal time. I mean, how do you kind of balance that with family? Because obviously you've got a little boy, haven't you?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
maybe not
He's
so
4
little now.
well, I know he's massive, he's 14 and we're not cool apparently. He thinks we're not cool,
Oh.
although we are cool. Do you know what? And again, there's always stuff that comes up, and we do stuff together and try and have quality time. But to be honest with you, the only thing I ever want out of life is traveling. And I do go
Yeah?
on sort of 4 or 5 holidays a year. And then for me, that really is proper quality time. I also get to rest and recharge. I'm the wrong side of 40 now, so the body's feeling it. So I do, and everyone sort of says, "Oh, you've gone loads of holidays," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that's what I put my spare money to," and then I really do get that quality time because if I'm getting home at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, or even later, it's everyone's quite tired, and because the boy is still in school, we're not up till 9, 10 o'clock at night having big family discussions and stuff. But we try maybe every other week we'll go and just do like an hour at the driving range or a cinema or a Nando's or something. We do try and get it in, but he's quite happy doing his own thing now at this age as well.
Yeah, I bet. It's nice. I mean, it's one of the again, another big topic of burnout and work-life balance amongst the trades for your mental health and your physical health. With being a female on the tools, how do you find that the trade treats your body? Do you have a lot of aches and pains, and how do you manage it?
Do you know what? From 35 to 40, for 42, I am now. I'm a hell of a lot more physically tired. The brain's still going and stuff, but I remember years ago I'd go and do like a job like 8 till 4. I'd nip home, have something to eat, and then I'd go and do another job in the evening just for a few hours, a bit of extra money. No problem. I could do that for months and months and months. I just can't do it now. I suffer with something called weekend migraines, and
Okay.
it's where I've been working and arms up and physical week. When you kind of stop at the weekend and you relax, all of that tension shoots up into your head, and it's called a weekend migraine. And that's been
Wow.
about the last 3 years. It's so weird. I went to the doctors about it, and he said, and I am still physical. We do loads of walking or whatever, but even on my rest days, I should still trying to be moving quite a lot. But yeah, once one of those comes on, it's like, oh, here we go. And it's always at the weekend if I've got time off.
No way. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah, really weird. Well, I was going to say again, like with having the 4 or 5 holidays, like every Christmas we go away. So we're off to Egypt for 2 weeks, and we'll be doing bits and bobs, but that is my time to rest and recharge.
Yeah.
And I really need that a few times a year because I'm dreading getting to 50.
Oh, mate, don't. I turn 40 next year, and to be fair, I'm not even really dreading it, but yeah, you when you're approaching that sort of 40, around that mark, you do
Hmm.
start to notice more aches and pains, the joints. Yeah, it's something you got to keep an eye on, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I used to be able to go to the gym as well. Like, so I'd go and do a day's work and I'd go to the gym for an hour or two of an evening. And then we were going to one in the morning. It was like circuit training, but with weights and everything. And I
Yep.
was doing that like sort of 6:45 till 7:30. I was done for the day. I couldn't, like, it was actually detrimental in how much energy I had left. So a lot of people go like, "Do you not go to the gym?" I physically can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it just does me in.
I'm one of them. I don't know how people can go to the gym in the morning before work. I've just started going in the evenings,
Yeah,
so I'll get home, I'll eat, and then I'll go to the gym like 3 times a week, and to be fair, I've noticed a hell of a lot of difference in my strength and
really.
Yeah, and even my joints as well, because I was getting a lot of joint pain from being on your knees, doing
Yeah.
skirtings and sanding and stuff and up and down and everything, and I've noticed that strength training has really helped me, but yeah, I don't know how you can do it in the morning.
I can't,
I'd be
like, the
done as
thought of
well.
finishing work and going in the evening now, I can't do it.
It does take some.
Yeah, definitely.
There are some days where I'm like, "I really can't be bothered," but I know I'll feel better afterwards. It's
Better
one of
after it,
them.
100%, that's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, obviously, you're a self-employed decorator. What do you think is the hardest part of being a self-employed tradie?
Keeping on top of everything, because a lot of people think you just go and do, like, your 8 till 4 or whatever hours you do, and it's on top of that, the quotes, finding time to go and do quotes. I'll go after work if it's, like, on the way home, but I'm just outside of London, so that sort of rush hour traffic, what can be 10-minute drive on a clear day is an hour and a half on that rush hour traffic. So then I'll take like one Saturday a month and book in 4 or 5 quotes, and then it ends up being that whole weekend of making sure you get the estimates out and making sure you've got all your materials and products. Because I'm not one for like popping out in the day to go and, oh, I need more filler, I need more of this. I like to have it all there, and I don't need the property unless there's an emergency. So it's just making sure all of that is fine tuned. And again, I suppose it comes quite easy to me because I've been doing it for so long, but it adds hours and hours and hours across the week. And you've
Yeah,
got to be on top of it. If you're not sending quotes out when you say you're, or estimates when you say you're going to do it, the customer then starts to think, what's going on? You know, you're losing the trust already with that.
yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
it is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite easy for people outside the trades, I think, to forget all the behind the scenes work that we have to do. Like you say, the extra time that it all takes to do your books, your quotes, your estimates. As we've established, they're two different things.
Yeah,
Buying your materials, making sure that your general stock is also,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because you don't generally buy a singular tube of cork with every job or a singular bag of or tub of filler for each job. It's something that you generally always have, isn't it?
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so there's always things that you've got to be thinking about outside of each singular job, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, even driving to the paint shop, that shuts at 5. Well, if I'm like finishing a job at 4:30, but the paint shop is in that bit of traffic, I'm not going to get there. So I either have to finish a bit early or go on a Saturday morning. It's the balancing act.
Yeah, and then you got to fight the traffic, like you say, to get there before it shuts.
Exactly, exactly.
So, for anyone looking to get into the trades, specifically a woman of any age, what would your bit of advice be?
Don't be scared. Like, it can be daunting, but there's obviously something if it's drawing you to the trades for whatever reason. And I think the community out there now, again, jumping into especially Instagram, it's such a good platform. And I've always got people asking me questions, and I'm always willing to help and give answers or advice. But you've also got, I've been doing some courses there with Dulux Academy. So I've just done I was speaking to you about that at the show the other
You
day,
were?
like the
Yep.
spraying and stuff. And they do, like, I'm not great at wallpapering. I don't enjoy it. And everyone's like, you're just a brush hand, but I can pick and choose. But even things like that, I've been going for so long, but I'm going to go back and do a wallpaper refresher. And they even do real basic courses like color consulting and how to do estimates and that. So there's so much support available out there. Try and find a local decorator in your area where you can just jump on and get a bit of hands on and stuff as well. That's always a lot of people I think start with doing their own house and just doing friends and family and then think, I could actually get into this. But there's never a better time now with all the support that's out there. And again, something that we're talking about doing when I was at the show, I was speaking to them at Dulux and they're planning on doing a women's day, just
Wow.
probably, yeah, but just like a bit of a, rather than a whole day spray and a whole day papering, just doing a day where you can sort of have a bit of a look at all the different courses and options out there. So I'm quite excited, and it is good. Like, I'd love to encourage other women to come into the trade and stuff. So why not? It's good. We're all
Absolutely.
friendly over here.
That's it. We are. There's no animosity amongst us. We all
Exactly.
support him. We all want to see each other win. There's no stepping. There's no like competition, is there?
No,
It's all we're
no.
just supporting each other, and I think that's why yeah, that's why I love it so much.
Absolutely. Facebook's a bit trolly, but honestly, Instagram is brilliant. And like being at the painting and decorating show and just having such a laugh and a good time and exactly, oh, you need any help or that kind of stuff. It's really good. So do you know what? And I think some people see it as quite daunting as well, the jobs. But let's say if there's a woman in her she's 40s who wants to come in, she can hone in on just wallpapering if that's what she likes, or just like these new build estates where it literally just needs painting. So it's not a case that you're having to climb all over scaffolding or really get in and start skimming walls and that, you don't have to be doing that real ugly, dirty stuff. You can just pick
Yeah,
and choose. There's so many options within all the gilding and the gold leafing and stuff. There's so many options depending what they want to go in. And if you come in and then sort of find what you like doing, just hone in on those skills, and there's a market for everyone.
definitely, definitely. It's nice. It's a good way of looking at it like that when you break it down into segments instead of a whole trade for new people coming in. Yeah, I like that tip. Hone in
Hmm.
on a specific part to start with, and then if you want to, you can branch out from there,
Yeah,
can't you?
definitely, definitely.
I was actually going to ask you about the courses you've been doing because I've noticed you've done a few over this year so far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of which that really drew me and has been something that I've been looking at is the repair care.
Yes.
How have you found that?
Do you know what? I've actually only used it once out in the sort of real world, but I thought what a good skill to have, because looking at some of the people that use it, and then it does save you having to bring in a carpenter. And the idea with the repair care, they used it on like Big Ben and stuff, and they did all the refurbs on Big Ben.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you say like if you've got an old timber window that a lot of people might think, oh God, that's past its sell by date, and it tends to only really be the bottom bit that's rotten. It's all about like saving the planet as well. So you can rip that out and then put in a new wooden window or UPVC, and but it's like what it does to the environment as well. The actual process of having to make the new window, have it installed, the cost and stuff. It's quite incredible what that repair care does. And they do like the two levels. I've not been on the level two yet, but that touches slightly into the carpentry. So you could cut the bottom bar out, put a new bar in, and repair care it into place. So again, it
Okay.
opens you up a little bit more with what you can do, especially if you're doing exterior work. Can be used
Yeah.
inside as well on various bits. But I just love the fact that it kind of is saving the environment. It was on the course to explain it all, and it's quite incredible. So it was really
Wow.
scary, and I kicked and screamed my way through it. I hated doing the job. I actually hated it. But
Did you?
again, I had a lot of support. One of the repair care guys, he jumped in and was like, "Look, if you need me for anything," and two or three other decorators that use it a lot. I was chatting with them about it. Again, the client, she's a regular. She knew exactly it was my first time. And it came out really well in the end, but it was one of those like, oh my God, how hard is this? So now I'm on the flip side. I'm glad I did it. But it can be scary to approach it, and you can go and do
Yeah.
the course. And once you're out there, it's like, oh God, here we go. But no, I'm glad to sort of get that under my belt, and I would like to go and do the level 2 for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, it does look like insane stuff. And I have to admit, over the last couple of summers, I've had a few customers wanting external work, whether it
Mhm.
be on like conservatories or like full wooden greenhouses that they've
Yeah,
still
yeah,
got but
yeah.
want to keep. And you look at the level of like spots of wood rot and stuff, and
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I've got the skills to tackle this properly to give it like
Mhm.
another 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But this is why I've been looking at the repair care stuff because, yeah, it looks insane. Yeah.
It is
So,
brilliant, but even inside, let's say if there's like a bit of skirting board and there's been, sometimes with the tall skirtings in the old houses, they're like notched out where there was an old socket and the
yep.
socket's been moved or a radiator has been fitted, and so you got it, you can like repair all of that directly into the shape, and it doesn't sag like normal filler wood, or a lot of the wood fillers and stuff, they blow after a little while, hot and cold and stuff. That's old news, whereas this is a bit more flexible. So even that kind of stuff, you get a lot of people who only do interior stuff, but they will use that. So
Okay.
it's well, again, if you go and do the course and you've got it ticked off, at least you've got the
Yeah.
skill, and then doesn't mean you necessarily have to go out and do like 50 windows straight away. Just start with little small bits to get the confidence up.
Definitely. Definitely. Sticking on the courses, how are you finding your spraying now?
You know what? I did an initial video. So my friend had built a beautiful like orangery garden thing. It was like another house in his garden.
I saw that.
Oh, it's massive. He's a good friend of mine, and I've done loads of work for him. And so I was prepping it all with the intention just to paint it. And the next minute he brings out a sprayer. He's like, "We're going to spray it." I was like, "No, we're not. You've just built this
Yeah.
beautiful thing." And he said, "I've never even seen one, let alone put it in action." And he was like, "Look, what a perfect place to try." And I just made a stupid video out of it. And then I spoke to Dulux and popped down and did their introduction course. And seriously, even just from the introduction course, from that first video I put up to the next video, it was unreal the difference in the one
Wow.
course. Yeah, couldn't believe it. One of the teachers on there, James, he's brilliant. I speak to him quite a bit if I need any help and stuff. But so I did the introduction, which shows you a little bit of the airless, which would be for the ceilings and walls, and then the HVLP, which would be like the wood, your spindles, your built-in furniture. And then I
Okay.
did the next course up from each of those as well. But once again, it's that now I've got to take it out into the real world. I bought a sprayer.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just and you know what they say, like, don't wait until like you've got the right job for it. But it is a little bit what actually scares me is not the spraying, it's the protection of everything and the carpet and the windows. That's
Yes.
the scary bit for me. Although again, they showed us how to do it on the course and we did it all. So I'm not waiting for the right job to come up, but it'd be a few months yet. It'd probably be in my house. I'll try first. Trial and error. But yeah, it's been
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant, and it's another string to the bow. And I'm sure once they get going with it, it just opens up. Yeah, I can spray this. I can do your kitchen, or if it's just like a door or whatever. Yeah, and the finish is you'll never beat the spray finish with
Really?
them. Yeah, so good.
Wow.
Yeah,
It does look insane. I mean, again, another scary aspect to add into your skill set, I think, because you're obviously using a machine that you've got to know how to use safely
absolutely.
because yeah, they pump some power out, don't they?
Yeah, they can be quite dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You can get like
Mm.
injection injuries off the paint, but again, they teach you all the safety aspects of that kind of stuff as well, the do's, the don'ts, and what to do if you do get it. So yeah, it's quite nasty.
So get yourself on a course if you want to do the spraying
Definitely.
then.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, 100%. Of
There
course,
we go. Cool.
definitely.
Sticking on like the jobs that you've done, what would you say is one of the most proudest jobs that you've done to date or biggest transformations?
God, do you know what? I used to do a lot more building work as well with my dad and stuff. So some of the jobs
Okay.
I don't really do it much anymore, but like we would literally go in and completely rip the rooms apart, pull the ceilings down. I'm actually a qualified
Wow.
plumber as well. So I'd
No
like
way.
move, yeah, I'd move like radiators. I can do little bits of electrics and stuff. So moving sockets from here to there, fitting skirting boards. So like a full transformation like that. They were quite cool from start to finish, but trying to deal with maybe a different electrician who I'd have to bring in for stuff that I might not know about, or trying to arrange a plasterer to come in and stuff. I just left it all behind because I got a bit too shouty with those trades who were not sort of doing what I'd asked them, or yeah, it got quite stressful.
Yeah.
All of that sort of work was lovely. But now I mean, I did one there. My friends are away. I did their massive kitchen diner, and it was just a refresh, white to white, and then we bought in a couple of dark colours. But I call those like wow spaces with the sort of pitch roofs and everything, and they're amazing to
Yeah.
work in. They're lovely to work in. Yeah, I just love all the different jobs for all different reasons. Even just going in, I've had a few clients, so it only needs a lick of paint, and I'm like, I don't just do a lick of paint. It's going to get a full sand, and as much as they thought it looked good before, when they see it after, they are like, "Wow." I've had clients cry at me before for, like, the
Wow.
finish or just saying how me and Sam, we were working together earlier this year, and the lady had a couple of dodgy, all different trades in, and we were doing various bits, and at the end of the job, she cried, bless, and we were giving her a cuddle, and she was like,
Oh.
"So nice having you guys in the house. You're so respectful. You haven't got music blaring." There's just so many things that, like, that I love, and but I can't pinpoint a single job to be proud of as such. Been a long time going, so,
That's fair enough, that's fair. Do you know, that's probably an even better answer that,
yeah, yeah.
that they're all amazing. And you just mentioned the point of a customer saying, "Oh, it just needs a lick of paint," but you said that's not you, you don't do that. How do you explain that to a customer and therefore justify the price that you give them and stuff? Because I think I get a lot of that with potential customers where they they're happy with how the walls are, they just want a different color, they want it to be sharp, they want it to be fresh. They don't necessarily want the full sanding works. How do you stick to that if that is how you produce work?
Do you know what? I mean, it sounded so black and white when I said it. I have got some lovely clients who might be OAPs or single mums and stuff. And again, it's just being very transparent with them. Like, if I go in somewhere and they're like, "Oh, I just want to look at paint," if the walls are shocking, I'm like, "Well, are you planning on doing this every year?" Or, and they're like, "No, no, no, I want it like it's going to be for me, I will work to like a level. It's not trying to say, oh, that's bodging it, but if I can see that just a lick of paint isn't going to make it look any different, I can't do it. They're not my types of jobs, and
Yeah.
ultimately, I have got a price point, and sometimes it's too expensive for the client. But again, I have got my little old OAPs and stuff, and there will be a bit of paper peeling in the corner, and we will just stick it back. And it is a hard balance, but again, a lot of people, I suppose, used me because of my level of prep and stuff. So I kind of have got my clientele is that way. If that
Yep.
makes sense. So
That higher end finish.
it is, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Again, it's a hell of a lot of repeat work that I get or recommendations from my regular clients who know that standard. And they obviously maybe have a bit of a discussion about the level of finish, and or they'll come into their friend's house and be like, "Wow, that looks amazing," and stuff, you know. So there, I get a lot of jobs where I've been too expensive and they can't afford it, and that's okay. But unfortunately, it's just not my demographic of work, really.
Yep. Yeah. I get it. I do. It is hard. You want to help everybody, don't you? You want to take on all the work you
Hmm.
can that comes your way, but sometimes the customer expectation level doesn't meet y- your your work. Not well, standard. I guess
It
it
is
is, isn't it?
standard. It is a
Yeah, it
standard.
is.
Because if you think now, like as you say, if the walls are like really ropey and you're just going in and putting a coat of paint in, their friends who are coming in over the next year or two, they're going to be like, yeah, that looks nice. But in their head, they're like, bloody hell, who did that? And they might
Yeah,
not have that conversation with the friend, but it makes you look like you've not done a proper job because they won't know the ins and outs. So I'll always try and have the discussion with them about the finish, the level of prep that needs doing, the way that we have to deal with the cracks rather than just poking a bit of filler in and hoping for the best.
yeah,
I've also had quite a few people who are like, "You're the most expensive, but you've been so open and transparent, and you've shown us exactly what you're going to do that we would actually like to go with you as well." So there's always
nice.
around it, really. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of trial and error, and it has been a lot of trial and error over the years, you know.
definitely. Yeah, because like you say, with the level of standard that you're used to providing, people I feel think that painting's an easy trade, isn't it? You just whack the paint on, job's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good 'un, it looks fresh. And when you get these conversations going, I think you can put out there the stages of work that is required to provide such a high level of finish. And we're not just talking £1,000,000 like mansions and stuff. We're talking normal people homes, aren't we?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
with cracking finishes, top
Yeah,
level stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And when we get the opportunity to explain what is involved in providing that top finish, it definitely opens people's eyes to what we actually do as decorators, you know?
Definitely. Even down to like the paints. Again, I never let the client supply the paint. That's just not happening. So
I try that, yeah.
I will supply all of the paints. And again, I'm like, this is a durable paint. You can wash it. Obviously, kids are drawing marker pens and that over that's a different story. But if you go out and get a tub of Wixone and it was blue, it's probably going to look pink in 3 months. If you look at it for too long, it's going to fall off the wall. So it's worth paying that little bit more. It's a false economy. If you put it
Mm,
on, and that job that I went to look at yesterday, and they've just bought a beautiful house. Now, I did work for them back in, I said to her yesterday, how long ago was it? And she was like, it was 2019. She was like, it's still immaculate. And that's
wow.
with two sort of kids that have grown up and stuff as well. She was like, "Yeah, we can just sort of wash the walls down, and I can ram the Hoover into the woodwork and it doesn't all chip and that sort of stuff." So
Yeah,
there's levels to it, as you say, for sure. But if you can explain it to the client what they're gonna get, then they're gonna get the lasting finish. It's worth the money at the end of the day.
that's it, that's it. And again, the product knowledge that is involved as well, the ever evolving paint formulas and new brands that are coming out.
It's
It's a
mental.
minefield, isn't
That is
it?
like a full-time job. And do you know what? That's where like my socials, especially my Facebook, have lent to. So I sort of had the Facebook page for 8, 9 years, and it was just before and after photos. And I saw Joanne. Hey, I know you've had her on. She's brilliant. I love her. And Paint Warrior Kev, I saw them sort of doing videos on how tos and a few bits, and I thought I like that. So my
Mm,
Facebook page has turned into like a DIY help book, and I get so many people, whether they literally are just homeowners wanting to do their own thing, new decorators, or handy people. And they're like, I love the way that you explain this product or review that product. Now I know I can try that, or that's the best way to deal with the crack and stuff. So,
yeah,
but coming from being like old school, all the old oil paints and various methods and ways, to really trying to teach myself all the new stuff, which sometimes screams at me, no, no, don't do that. Just stick to the old ways. It's been a journey, and I've really enjoyed it. My dad now, he'll still look at me and be like, what is that? And I'm like, yeah, this is the new like guards and things like that. When I've heard
yeah.
about that, and I was on speaking to Russ, so I'd messaged him. I was like, Russ, how do I use guards and what's it for? So yeah, just forever learning and being able to pass that knowledge on, and then being able to make even longer lasting finishes in people's houses with the new products, which I don't know, jury's out on that a bit. Some of the old ways and products are still, but some of the new stuff is amazing, and it's sort of blown my mind how good it is being quite new products and materials. But yeah, different ball game
Yeah.
again.
I think one of the biggest discussions or noted things in the decorating world is how to deal with a crack, isn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Yeah.
Using the old peel stop, the flexi fill,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
skim, all of that. Yeah. So I think when different decorators put out how they deal with it,
Mhm.
yes, it may have been done before by another decorator, but you're reaching different people. So the fact that you've obviously just mentioned Russ and Joanne, they've got their own audience and you'll have
Mhm.
yours. So
Yeah,
yes, it's the similar content, but it will still reach different people. So the fact
definitely.
that you're putting how you do stuff out there definitely reaches more and more people.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely take bits from yourself and Joanne and other people as well, because again, everything is changing so much constantly year on year,
Definitely.
whether it be the substrates we're working on
Oh yeah.
or the products that we're using. It's great that people like yourselves are making those how I do how to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
videos.
That's it. And that's how I've learnt some of the stuff that I've learnt, and I'll always try it in my own house first,
Yeah,
before taking it out into sort of the real world, or I'll have a discussion with the client of, I'm going to be trying this method, etc. But it's even like the roll on fillers now with the skimming blades. I've not
yeah.
tried it yet, but it's like, okay,
Haven't
so now
you?
we can be, not yet, not yet. It's like, okay, so now we can be plasterers, can we?
I
almost,
know.
so unreal.
Yeah,
When it can all the work, the repair care, we're carpenters, we're now
this is
plasterers.
it.
But don't forget, if you can piss, you can paint.
Well, this is it, don't you forget it.
It is
Oh,
good
mate,
though, and being able to keep a lot of it all in house with these products and the skin fillers
mm,
and stuff, rather than having to call in a plasterer for that or whatever. It makes it easier for the client as well.
definitely, and
So,
it keeps the job rolling, doesn't it, for you
mhm.
as the finishing trade? You don't have to start and think, "Oh, damn, I've got to come off that for like
Yeah,
5
yeah, yeah.
days." I've used that roll-on filler, a couple of different brands, and it's genius, mate. It's so easy to
Really?
work with. Yeah, get
Yeah,
some and just play about with it. Even if it's just on a really small part of a wall just to level it out, it's genius. It's so good.
definitely. It's the next one on
Yeah.
my list to try for sure.
Nice, nice. So you touched there on social media and Facebook particularly. You got hacked on your Facebook not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was my Instagram went first, then my Facebook went, but
Did it?
they were slightly different times. So again, I'd had the Facebook for years and years and years, and it really was just to have the reviews and the local stuff. And then I
Mm.
started up a business Instagram. It'd be 2 years Easter coming. So what we're about 18 months in now. And Sam actually, she started hers up at the same time. And that's how we met through Instagram. Anyway, yeah, my Instagram got hacked and I was on like about 980 followers. And I was just like, what the hell? But they didn't delete it. They just changed all the passwords and the page is still there. The
No
pages,
way.
yeah, 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 they've done nothing to it. So it's still
That's
sat
mad.
there. It is so weird. So I actually had to set up a whole new Instagram, which was a little bit soul destroying.
I bet, yeah.
And then we were going to Marrakesh for Laura's birthday, and I was at the airport, and I was just going to be like, "Oh yeah, I can't get into my Facebook." I just had to put it down. Then I was like, right, we're away. And
Oh,
luckily, because I had the Instagram verified, the new Instagram, Facebook will get your Instagram back. They managed to get it back for me. Thank God.
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but that wasn't very nice.
No, mate, I think as we've said, like, having social media is such a useful part for us to share what we're doing. So the fact that you got hacked like that, that's oh yeah, soul destroying.
Yeah, but I mean, I think everything sort of happens for a reason as well. And I was trying to upload old videos or stuff across from Facebook, and it had the watermarks. And it was actually Kev Paintmore. He was like, "Stop, slow down," and he gave me some really like useful tips and stuff. Yeah, I've sort of put all of that behind me now, and it's doing well. It is. I just enjoy it. I don't take it too seriously. I'm not a polished person. What you see is what you get. If it's being a crap job, or if I did a video the other day just off the back of the painting and decorating show, and it had been a heavy 2 days, and my hair was all. People were like, "You look like." I was like, "Yeah, but the video's got to come out." So,
Brilliant.
yeah, yeah, it has been good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you find that it's good to connect with people as well and make friendships as well as sharing, like, your work?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the community there. So again, as I said, me and Sam, we both sort of started up about the same time, and I was working on my mother-in-law's place. So Sam lives about 40 minutes from me, and she
Okay.
would be a lot closer to my mother-in-law. So I said to her, "Look, come and help me out for a couple of days." We've been speaking on the socials, and we've turned into this like brilliant team. She was sort of working for builders, and it was a bit hit and miss. So I said, "Look, just come work with me now. You're gonna have to travel to me, unfortunately, a bit." And then we sort of got her going, and through her social, she's getting quite a lot busier now herself. But that's like a brilliant connection there. I actually love the community side of it. I mean, I've got my own friends outside of the decorating community, but it's almost given me like a little bit of purpose with the sharing on the socials. And then actually there's everyone who's on there has really got a drive, and everyone, as we said earlier, wants to see each other do well. And I've like stepped into this world where before the socials I was like, nah, I'm a dinosaur, I'm not going to get into spraying. I would have been like, no, repair care, what? And now I'm with the support and the rest of it gives me the kick up the backside as well to just do better, be better, and surrounding yourself with people who just want to keep going. Where we're going, nobody knows, but
That's it.
the journey is brilliant. So it's lovely.
Yeah,
It really is
yeah.
nice.
And the things like the decorating show that we all
Mhm.
went to, putting faces to
Absolutely,
Instagram
yeah.
Instagram profiles is mental. Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
in a really amazing way. It's crazy how you feel like you know somebody from their Instagram profile and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
meet them
yeah.
in person. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
it. I find that so weird because I'm actually quite shy in nature when I'm in like big groups and stuff. And it was mine and Sam's first time the year before, and we were like together, and we were like, "Oh my god, there's that person and that person." And then this year round, so I was working on a couple of the stalls, and loads of people are coming up
Yeah,
to me, and they're like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then yeah, and there's some people I didn't get to see, and I'm like, "Oh no, I really wanted to meet you and stuff." So but
yeah.
again, everyone's so friendly and it just brings everyone together. It's great. I love it. It's like a little family.
It's great. It is, definitely. It's really positive and again, reinforcing the fact that everybody just supports each other and wants to see each other do well
Yeah.
is yeah, it's a big thing as we've touched on with Facebook and there's some nasty comments going around. It's can be hard to stay upbeat, can't it,
Hmm.
when you're working all the hours to make ends meet and make a successful business. Having a being part of a community like the decorating family on socials is yeah, it's it's a great support for everybody.
Really is.
Yeah, anybody that wants to come into the trades, definitely connect with others
For
and don't be scared
sure.
to ask questions, isn't it?
No, that's it. I mean, Laura came with me, my other half, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to know too many people, and what if I'm bored?" And she's like, "I cannot wait to go back." Even like she was with you and your dad, and I think she got a bad
She was.
coffee, and then your dad was going to go and sort it out. And she's just like, everyone's so nice. You
Yeah,
know, she was
yeah.
just chatting to loads of strangers and playing the games on the stalls. I didn't hardly see her.
She was off gallivanting,
She
yeah, it was
was, yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, bless
Amazing.
her. So, no, it is good though. And that's the way it should be. Like, what's the point in being jealous of this person or that person? Stay in your own lane. If you've got questions, ask them, and let's all just keep growing together and just make it a nice place to be. Because it is, you can
Absolutely.
get a little bit like working on your own, and the socials is you can just have a chat. You're right, mate. How's your day going, and all of that. So
Yeah.
it is good.
It is, and I think you come across every now and again in certain periods of the year, people are brave and post something about them struggling. Um,
Definitely.
we all know how mental health is a big thing in the trade, specifically for men, but
Yeah,
I do feel now there's more women coming into the trades that it's also something we should be talking about for women as well, not taking
100%.
anything away from the fellas because there's obviously a big thing to tackle there for them
Hmm.
and fully support that. How do you think we can help support each other so that because obviously we come into our own difficulties as women in a male crowded
Hmm.
trade and having the social media can be a positive and negative. How do you think we can help support each other? That's quite a hard question to
Yeah,
answer.
it's, do you know what? It is difficult. And I mean, things like this, like you having the podcast where people can just talk openly and stuff. And like with what Russ is doing, obviously, for mental health
Oh,
in general, it is amazing. He is doing amazing.
yeah,
I find the women are so supportive anyway, in general, but it is a case of putting yourself out there to sort of say, I'm struggling. Like, look, I'll be frank with you. When it comes to that time of the month for me, I am in bits and I'm so tired. I've got no energy. Oh, my stomach pains and all of that. And that's not something that's sort of spoken about so much. And then people would jump on my
yeah,
socials and they'd be like, why are you not in your whites? And it's like,
mate.
do you know what
I
I
know what
mean?
you
Stuff like
mean.
that.
Yeah, that's why I don't wear whites.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something we don't talk about. But this
No,
is a women's
exactly.
podcast, right? And
Absolutely.
as a woman, you shouldn't feel the pressure to have to wear white trousers, especially when it comes to the time of the month. You know.
I think I've
And
heard with site work and that as well is kind of there's no facilities for women on there as such. Or I've never done site work, but I've heard it's not great things. And
Yeah,
not
it's
to
gotta be
sort of
tricky.
touch on too much on like Sam's stuff, but she's the same. She's been doing a couple of externals in London where she's not really had access to a toilet and stuff, and she's having to like walk
No
around
way.
London to go and find a McDonald's or somewhere to go toilet. And
Blimey.
yeah, mental. And there's another girl I recently connected with on Facebook, Mel. She's from Liverpool. She was at the show, Painting with Purpose. She suffers with something to do with all of her period and that, and she gets it really, really bad. And she put something up the other day, and she was quite tearful and that. But it shouldn't be a stigma at the end of the day. I think the men should know that the women struggle through that time. We obviously know
Yeah,
it ourselves, but if you're working with another lady on site and she's a bit short with you, have a second think to it. Or if she's a bit slower or nipping off to the toilet, it's
that's it.
you know.
It's not even just the needing the loo and the stuff like that. It's just it's brain fog, it's
Oh gosh,
energy
yeah,
levels, the older we get, up until the menopause sort of
yeah,
point where it kinda cuts off, there's so many different symptoms that we have to deal with, and joint pain, you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, mate,
Hot
yeah,
sweats and all of that. A couple of my
all of
friends are
that.
like going through menopause, perimenopause in all different like office workers, hairdressers, and all the rest of it. And they are
Yeah,
literally like, I feel like I'm going insane, you know? So if you're then trying to go out and do a full day's work, do a quote, not make a mistake, make sure you've got this and that.
yeah.
So hard to sort of deal with, you know? So I'm not quite there yet, but that's going to be difficult to,
Yeah. I've noticed the start of symptoms, so you're
yeah,
quite lucky. You're a little bit only a little bit older than me,
yeah,
but,
yeah,
when you start thinking, "Why did I forget that?" Or, I can't quite get on point today," or you're just feeling just so drained of energy and you can't figure out why because 'cause you've not done anything different.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with, along with trying to keep your business successful.
Exactly.
It's
Even like with
tough.
women, and even when they're not actually on their period, all the different cycles, there'll be like a week where they're super energized and they're ready to go. And then like the week before, so that each week, even though it's like just that amount of time being on your period, there's something different going on. Like you with the gym, Laura notices it. She hits like personal bests, or she's like does even better at the gym when she's in that phase where she's got all
Yep.
that energy. And then there's other times where she's just like, I literally couldn't even lift anything today. And
Yeah.
it's all so then when you're trying to be up ladders or lift even 10-litre tub of paint and that, do you know what I mean? Lugging that up and downstairs and the rest of it, it's yeah,
It's one of them things that can get overlooked, and I think the more we talk about it, because it isn't necessarily something everybody wants to hear about, but
is what it
all
is,
us
isn't it?
women go through it, pretty much
Exactly. Yeah.
99% of us will go through it, and the more we talk about it, the more it is normalized and it's
Hmm.
easier to talk about.
Exactly that. Exactly. But do you know what? I think going back to your initial point of like how the women support each other, I know that in some industries it can be really bitchy and stuff, but I've never had any issue in the trades amongst women, and especially on the socials and that. They'll always jump to my defense if there's a troll or stuff like that. You know, it's never the women sort of doing the trolling. And again, it's not just set, it's all men. I've got loads of really supportive men and stuff as well. But in
Yeah,
terms of actual talking about females, don't be scared to jump into someone's inbox and just be like, "I'm having a shit week," or whatever. We all
yeah,
go through it, and we can all be in here to listen, like listen to each other and just share the load a little bit. I think
definitely.
we're a lot more emotional maybe than some men, and sometimes we just need to vent a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with showing your vulnerable side either.
Absolutely,
Again, it makes you stronger to be honest and talk about how you're feeling, and effectively, well, hopefully, it will then make you feel better that you've voiced your feelings. Because sometimes just voicing something can make you feel better instead of working it over in your head all the time.
absolutely. I mean, even when I'm not working with Sam, she doesn't really like working on her own so much, whereas I'm I'm neither here nor there, but I'll check in on her a couple of times a week, and we'll have a little 10-minute phone call or whatever, and just be like, "You're right." If if you need a chat or whatever, it's important.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. So have you got any big announcements or big brand deals that you can share
Can't
with
talk
us?
about it. Can't talk about it. No, I'm joking. No, I mean I've got a few. No, I can't really talk about them. They might not even come off and stuff. So
Watch this space.
do you know what? Again, like with the Dulux thing, I'm working with them a lot, but it was a natural, organic thing. And I've just actually done like my first advert with them talking about the courses. But it's not like all of
Yeah,
a sudden I was doing courses with a different company and then it's like now. So that's a natural thing, but that's scary, like getting paid to do an advert or something. I feel so weird doing it, but at the same time, it's been such an organic journey for me doing my courses with them and talking about the courses that I marry up with the brands like that. So I
yeah,
will hopefully be doing some more stuff with Dulux in the future. But again, it's going to benefit me in my journey as well as make it aware that people can go and do the courses and there's this option and that option available as well. There's a
definitely.
couple of other products and stuff that I'll be doing bits with, but I can't talk about them at the minute. That sounds so stupid. I hate that.
But it is what it is. You don't wanna do it properly, you don't wanna, like, get ahead of yourself or anything like
No,
that. Yeah, I respect that, it's fine. I
I'm just
just
grateful for all of it as well. I don't expect anything to come, and as I said, my socials are not all like polished up. You're just gonna get me, and you're gonna get right. We're doing it this way and that way, and this is why we're doing it, and
it's real, innit?
yeah, exactly that. So, but then there are some likes of some beautiful accounts out there who are completely polished with so many followers and that, and I love to watch those accounts. And they get different companies that want to work with them for that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, it's all good.
Awesome. Right, we've come to the point where I like to do a bit of a this or that quick fire question round. Yeah, so you ready?
I'm ready.
Tea or coffee?
Tea all day long.
Wallpapering or painting?
Painting. I hate wallpapering. I'm just a brush hand, me.
Now, this one might seem a bit left field, but bungee jump or scuba diving?
I've done both. I've done both. I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit, if that's all right.
Go
So
for it.
we went to Bali a few years ago. I love the sea and I love snorkeling and I'll do anything. Me, chuck me out the plane, fine, whatever. Bungee jump, yep, all right. And I was like, I really want to try proper scuba diving. So we were on this beautiful island just off Bali, and it was the perfect place. The whole island was full of dive shops. And so me, Laura, and Tobias, we all got in the pool and started doing that stuff and felt really comfortable looking forward to it. And then after lunch, we went out to the sea. It was a proper qualification I was going to be doing. And when I sort of got off the boat and I couldn't really settle my heart rate, and I'm trying to sink myself, and I was panicking, and I was just holding the group up. Anyway, I had nightmares for a year. I got in the pool the
No
next day to try
way.
and do the pool stuff. Couldn't do it. Was panicking, couldn't settle, couldn't get my breath. I felt like I was in a box. Like you're looking up and you can see the top of the sea, and it's so quiet. Mm-mm. I had nightmares for a year. Honest to God.
Mate,
But I was like, if something like that defeats me, I'm like, nah, it's gonna happen. So when we went to Egypt, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, I went in and did it's called like a fun dive. You've got the instructors with you. You don't go deep. There's no pressure to do a course and pass this. And I'm a bit of a control freak. Again, he was like, he went to try and sink me. I had a massive freak out in the water. Laura's on the boat going, leave her alone, leave. Anyway, I just said, look,
my
hold my
God.
hand, let me sink myself and we'll. And I absolutely loved it. And I did a few of those type of dives. And then Christmas last year, I bit the bullet and I did my open water dive. So I've
Yeah?
got the qualification that I'd wanted from 4 years ago. And
Nice one.
we're going to Egypt again this Christmas, and the thought of it terrifies me. The thought of getting in and doing the initial sinking, and it's not even the drowning, it's like the goggles all steam up, and it's when I
Yeah.
think of it, I'm like, oh, but I'm gonna go in and do it again. So if I had to pick one or the other, it'd always be the scuba dive because it's a constant thing. But me and Laura, we did a tandem bungee jump together. I'd like to do the higher one up from that, and then when Tobias hit 16, we're all going to do a plane jump together. So,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, so
Amazing. So you're a bit of a thrill seeker then?
I love it, me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you won't catch me doing a bungee or the scuba diving,
No,
I'm afraid. Nah.
really.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like the look of the bungee bouncy thing.
Yeah,
Knowing me, my bloody leg will come off or
come
something,
off
you
or
know?
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it.
And I'm not a fan of deep water,
No,
so you'll never get me in the scuba diving stuff. I'm a bit of a wussy.
fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. So next question: driver or passenger?
Driver all day long.
Dealing with peeling paint or rotten window frames?
Peeling paint. It's what I know. It's what I know.
Spraying or brush and roller?
The thrill of the spray and for the fact I haven't got it mastered, so it's like I don't want to call it a monster, but it's like I'm still tussling with it. Every time I do the bit of spraying, it fascinates me and it's amazing. It's a lot easier on the body. So eventually I'd like to push a hell of a lot more into spray. So I'm gonna
Okay.
say spray.
Cool. This one's probably easy for you. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Dogs. I'm allergic to cats. I don't mind them. They're a bit weird when they sort of want to stroke you and then try and bite you. But I'm actually allergic to them. So I have to be careful if I'm working in people's houses with cats and stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go. And last but not least, Laura's homemade lunch or a meal deal?
Homemade lunch all day long. Everyone's badgering her to set up the Instagram page to do it. So food's amazing. I couldn't. Nah, I don't really eat a lot of bread and stuff, so a meal deal's a bit dead to me. To be fair, I look after my nutrition quite a lot. So yeah, always home cooked. It's cheaper anyway. It works out cheaper. It's more money for holidays.
This is it. This is it.
There's one
Awesome.
for you that I've asked you. I've seen you ask a few other people: skiing or snowboarding.
Yes.
Both,
Go on.
both.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Sick.
I grew up as a skier, and then Laura and Tobias hadn't done sort of anything, and so while they learnt to ski, I thought, what a good opportunity to learn to snowboard. So hard though, so hard.
It looks hard.
It
Yeah.
is so hard.
I've heard you spend more time on your arse
Oh
doing
yeah, definitely,
snowboarding than you do skiing.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, a nice challenge. But Tobias, he swapped them from skiing to snowboarding. He's just like kids just pick it up, didn't they? So
Yeah, they do.
yeah, but all of that sort of stuff, I love it. The challenge, it keeps my brain active, trying to learn, and yeah,
It's great
yeah,
that you've got that because I think a lot of people shy away from wanting to learn and challenge themselves. But the fact
yeah,
that you've still got that drive to learn new things
yeah,
and
yeah.
master them. Yeah, love it. Love it.
That little argument in my head I have with myself, where it's like, you can't do it. It's like, you will be able to do it. Yes, you will.
Brilliant. Nice one. So, last three questions for you that everybody gets. If you could be a different trade, what would you choose and why?
I've heard you ask this to everyone else, and I've always thought, I don't know. So I'm a qualified plumber as well, but I hate it. It's a
Dear.
rough job. Yeah, yeah, getting under the floorboards, soldering pipes, and used to do a lot of like kitchen and bathroom fitting and stuff, and it's quite hard on the old body. You're laying in bed
Okay.
wondering if there's been a leak and that kind of thing after you've done your work. I like the idea maybe of plastering because again that's a skill that you really have to sort of master over the years.
Mm,
I'd probably say plastering, maybe carpentry. It looks so pretty when it's
it
all
does,
done
don't
and
it?
these intricate stuff, but I never got the patience for it, to be honest.
Fair play. Fair play. So, what trade or who do you think I should have on the show next?
Oh god, there's so many good people. I'd love you to get Sam on, actually.
Yeah?
He's so interesting. Yeah, another decorator, quite new to it. Well, I say new. She used to be an accountant, but I'll say no more. Yeah, she there's too many to sort of name. There's so many good tradeswomen out there across the board.
Mm.
They all fascinate me. So the more you can get on. But yeah, try and get Sam on. Badger her. I'll badger her as well.
I'll get onto it. We've been chatting a lot, to be fair, so
Have
yeah,
you?
let me
Yes.
just we have, and, she was actually parked next to me on the second day at the
Okay, yeah,
trade
yeah.
at the P&D show, so I left her a little something on her windscreen before I left, but I don't know if the rain washed it away before she got there. Yeah, yeah, but, brilliant. So, Ria, where can people find you on social media? What are your handles for people to find?
Oh god. Female touch on the Instagram. It's different now. There's two, but the one that got hacked, but my one's got my face on there. So Instagram, I think it's the underscore female dot touch, something like that. Facebook, just stick the same thing and you'll see my ugly mug. And TikTok, I'm quite new to TikTok. I've only been doing that just under a year now as well. So you'll hear my voice no matter where I am.
Amazing. Well, I'll make sure all the right links and everything are in the show notes for people to
Perfect.
click on and go
Appreciate that.
straight to each of your pages. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you today,
Yeah, no,
mate.
I'm
It's
glad
been
to be
great.
honest. I've been watching you sort of grow it. You sort of said you were going to do it quite a while ago, and I see the thing pop on
I did.
Instagram, and I'm like, when's it coming? When's it going live? So yeah, well done to you for making it all sort of come to life and stuff. It's good
Thank you.
achievement, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes for you.
Yeah, there's plenty to do still, plenty to improve, and yeah, we'll see what next year brings.
Part of the journey, isn't it?
It is. It is. Awesome. Well, thank you again. It's been great, and I'm sure we'll chat again soon. And yeah, enjoy your
Real
weekend.
mate. Right, thanks a lot. Take care.
Cheers, mate.